So I just picked you up from Terre Haute. What were you doing this weekend?
I was going deer hunting for deer.
Who were you with?
I was with my grandma.
So you went over on Friday. We drove and dropped you off halfway on Friday, had dinner. Went back to Grandma's house, and then Saturday morning you got up and pretty early?
About 6:30-ish. We got about 6:30, and we had to wait about 10 minutes. We wanted to leave as soon as possible because, I mean, it was getting light out at that point. So we had to get water to defrost the windows because the windows were frozen.
Okay.
So we got about 6:30.
Went out, and where'd you go?
We went to the farm.
Family farm. But did you have a blind or a tree stand or?
We first started off in a blind that they set up personally for me. It's a very good spot, right by one of the hills. So there's walking paths for the deer, and is also right next to a field. And you got a plain deer left, just to let you know.
I see it.
And so we did that. We saw a deer on one of the trails, but it was between brush and corn. But the brush was like right here, and then the cornfield was on the other side of it. So it was walking, kind of trotting out. And so we were decided, we just let it pass by because it wasn't going to stop. It had no intentions of stopping. We eventually got out of there quietly. We went down to the end of where the hunting, like the farm is, to where the river is, the Wabash River. I think that's what it is, the Wabash River. And we went there for about 3 hours. We were at one spot where I hunted one time at the same tree stump. And we were like, this tree stump's a little bit low because like it's pretty much ground level to where the deer could see us. So we decided to move up to a different location where another tree stump is, go against a tree. We saw another deer, and I let it go by because it was kind of small. I was like, I'll let it grow up next year, or a couple years. And then we saw about a 2.5-year-old buck there as well, and I shot it. My grandma, she got it to stop like one time. It was staring at us, started moving a little bit, stopped it again, and she's like, oh, I think it's going to run off. And I'm like, yeah, I don't think it's going to run off, because like the older the buck is, like the smarter it's going to be. And it got into a point where you could see like its neck, but it was just staring at us for like 5 minutes straight. Eventually moved out, got a shot in the lungs, shot it right in both lungs. And it ran pretty far, farthest it's ever ran, about 150 yards. Followed the blood trail, and my grandma, she had thought that I had probably hit it very, like, probably in like the, I don't know, the liver, because it looked like it was a high shot, and it was, but it hit both lungs. And so he waited, because if the deer could have laid down, it could have just been like slowly dying there. And if you got up, it could, if we were over there, it could have, plane's like right over us. It could have, it could have gotten back up and ran more. Because it could live up for a while. So we went back and we changed clothing, and we eventually found it, took a couple brag photos, and we gave it to the neighbors that live at the house next to the farm that we have, like the little barn on the farm. And they were very grateful, very excited. And yeah, it was a very successful hunt. Very glad I get to do that almost every year. It was definitely worth it.
Cool. But you didn't want to go back again?
Oh, I want to go back again.
No, I mean you didn't go back again to go get a doe.
Oh no, we didn't. We were deciding on that, but today in the morning it was extremely cold, and we don't know what we were gonna do with the meat. So we just decided to call it quits and decided to go to church.
Okay. Cool. And you went to a new little church?
It's a church.
Near the house, but
yeah, it's been open for...
New for you. And
yeah. Very nice and friendly.